Okay, stop. All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. It's good to be back again. We missed last Monday. Apologies for that.
Davey didn't want to work.
It was a long weekend of streaming, and then a long week of streaming, doing the 2 review streams, and
then the whatnot thing for Jason.
Well, that was just before. Anyway, it was very busy, and I had to get some work done. So we missed last Monday, but we're here. And this time I've got cable. This one is actually, it's largely drawn in, so we're going to be finishing it. And I wanted to finish this one for the first half tonight. And as I'm looking at it, here, let me fix it a little. And then we're going to do a tutorial, which so I've talked quite a bit. I want to do this tutorial and that tutorial, and I don't have time. But what I do have time to do is just do it live with you guys. And I think it'd be a lot more fun. So that's what we're going to do. And then, you can ask questions as it goes along. And I think I'm hoping that it'll be more useful, and it certainly will be more time economical for me.
But before we do that, we have something fun to show you guys.
That's right. We have a video from Dr. Rock.
Who sent it to me. I got it today. I don't know when he sent it. I don't look at my Instagram messages very often. But maybe he sent this today. This is amazing. So we're going to share, not the whole video, but we'll share half of the video.
How long is the video?
It's like 6 minutes.
Okay. So we're going to play it. And a huge thank you, by the way, to Dr. Rock for making this and sending it. It was very, very cool. He's been a great friend of the channel for a long time. We've done some video collaborations. It's been quite a while. Need to do it again. All right. So here we go.
Roll the tape.
It's going to take me a second. It's been so long. Let's see. Share screen.
You make these things so painful.
Entire screen. I'm just going to hit entire screen because I don't know how to. Okay. And audio. It's not letting me share. Like I've had it. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. And all right. Here we go. Got it. Freaking thing. Got it.
It's working.
Hey Dave, this one's for you! Whoa, so listen closely to what I do have to say about your book, and all you people out there, take a closer look at Skinbreaker! Skinbreaker! At Skinbreaker! Skinbreaker! Congratulations on the art, your line work is just great. Anatomy on point, and one can see nothing is fake. The story makes you wanna read the whole book till the end. Leonis Colores to the deep, there's nothing to amend. Oh, it's good, that's Skinbreaker. Skinbreaker, a book that rocks with detailed art that makes you praise the maker. That makes you praise the maker. And since I like your stuff so much, I want to contribute a cover art in Rocky style to help you distribute the story of a certain dude called Anak in a world where everyone needs to get strong through a sword's light, and it's called Skinbreaker. Skinbreaker, a book that rocks with detailed art that makes you praise the maker.
You guys have watched the whole video, you know.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
A book that rocks with detailed art that makes you praise the maker. That makes you praise the maker.
The gold foil.
Go. on canvas with my broken markers. I honor your great art. Pure gold to pay respect to you that's coming from my heart. Your characters in Rocky style look cooler than the others. So please with sugar on the top, make it a variant cover for Skin, a skin breaker. Skin breaker. A book that rocks with details on that makes you praise the maker. For Skin, a skin breaker. Skin breaker. A book that
That's
rocks
amazing,
with
isn't it?
details on that makes you praise the maker. Makes you praise the maker.
But just to be clear, I didn't actually sing the thing and played all these instruments. I wrote the song, I arranged the song, and then I let it come to life with an app of artificial intelligence. Because unfortunately, I cannot sing. I can play the ukulele. Therefore, I can also play the e-ukulele. I actually can play the drums.
You everything can sing. There you go.
I can play the piano a little bit. I can juggle whatever that has to do with anything. But I cannot sing properly. See the stone set in your eye, see the thorn twist in your side. My hands are tied,
Yes.
Yeah.
my body bruised, she's got me with nothing to win and nothing left to lose.
No, God, please, no, no.
But hey, I can draw. And I like to put on gold on my drawings. Look how shiny it is. And this skin breaker drawing is now part of a series where I do these side profiles with all them many details in the faces and in the background.
I love the style.
So I thought this was a fitting thing to do with Dave's great characters.
Yes.
And speaking of Dave, he can even draw better than I do. Check out this lovely page here from the first issue of Skinbreaker. But all the pages are really, really cool. I love this stuff.
All right.
Look at that.
Thank you, Dr. Rock. So I think I hit.
Did you pause it? Because you didn't want to see your own stuff. But anyway, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I saw it this morning, and I know the sound was a little bit off sync for those of us watching. It was on sync for yours, but there's always a lag.
Did it just come out?
Yeah. So we'll post a link if Russ or Eric can find it and post a link. That would be amazing. But yeah, like honestly, so much fun.
God Loves Comics says just as good as Bono until the chorus. Yeah.
So yes, thank you, Dr. Rock. That was amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So good.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's really amazing. You know what I noticed the most about the whole thing?
That it was heavy metal.
That his statues don't have any dust on them.
Well, maybe he has a wet for gears.
There you go. That's what it is.
JDSCT as the first super chat of the night. Happy Family Day, Dave, Meredith, and Finch Flock. For those of you who are not Canadian, we love our holidays, and today is Family Day.
Is it?
Kids
Oh
are home
yeah,
from
it
school.
is. That's right. Yeah, Isaac's home
Kids
all
are
day.
home from school.
I'm so disconnected. The kid is home all day, and
The kid is like 17, almost 18.
yeah.
It's not exact. Well,
And I did
I
actually.
mean, we're not good family people apparently, but we did not plan anything.
So I want to mention this cable is a homage to Rob Liefeld's cable from 89, 90, maybe 90. Anyway, long time ago. And a really cool cable picture. This is actually a commission somebody wanted. You know what, these pens just go. Somebody wanted an early or original version cable, and I thought, if I'm going to do that, I want to do something. I've done a Rob Liefeld homage before. I did actually a Youngblood cover that Rob inked, which is very, very cool. So he still has the original art for that. So yeah, I wanted the original art, of course. I mean, how could I not? But also, how could I say no when he wanted it? And so, I was very happy to. I was actually very flattered that he would want it. So
yeah, who would want Dave Fincher?
Hey,
we have another super chat, the second super chat prior to the video from Dr. Rockart saying, "Hey guys, I made it. I'm still awake. Thank you for playing my video."
Thank you so much for making it. He also said that he wanted it to be an alternate cover. Now, I have no control over that, but I'm going to try. That would be amazing. All I can do is ask, and that would be pretty awesome.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
That's right.
Dan Lassard has a super chat. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Finch, says Dan. So formal. I hope you and the horses are enjoying the weather. Dan, we are loving the warm up. And, I'm embracing the wet.
Yeah, you know what? It's so whenever here it gets warm after a lot of snow, we get absolutely drenched. But it's been such a cold, unforgiving winter for so long. Yeah, I'll take the wet. That's all right.
Oh yeah, so warm out, so nice, so nice.
Yeah, we were just out there feeding the horses.
So nice.
Just a bit ago, and
Because
yeah,
it's so warm, I don't feel like the need to run into the house and actually spend some time in the paddock, lingering over the ponies, scratching them. Spice asked for some scratches. Bonnie asked for some scratches. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just enjoying the ponies.
Spend a little time with them.
Yeah.
So I figured this should take me. By the way, and I have a book of the week, which I'm gonna have to run over there and grab because I forgot, but I know what it is at least.
Do you know where it is?
I know exactly where it is. Yeah. I've kind of organized my books a little bit. You wouldn't know, but from looking at the shelves, but they are more organized than they were.
I believe you.
I've been on a real mission to actually have, and this is why I noticed right away how undusty Dr. Rock's office is. Because I've been really trying to be neater. I'm such a slob. And
does he live on a farm, which is inherently more dirty than in the city? And does he have 3 large dogs?
Sure.
Which also create a lot of dust.
That said,
Someday, we'll have a clean house. It won't be today.
Yeah.
And maybe, again, he has a wife who cares.
Well, maybe as a wife, he allows into his office.
Yes, that's true, because you don't let me in your office.
Not as much as I can help it.
This is your sanctuary. I do not bug you in your sanctuary. Sheldon Martin says, "Hey, Meredith, feels like we haven't seen you in 3 weeks." It feels like that's accurate.
Has it been 3 weeks?
Well, because
Oh, that's right.
we did the stream.
Yep.
And then you did the review.
Right, and I said, yeah,
you didn't need me.
Well, you would have.
Honestly, I want to give props to everybody who participated in those review streams, or what critique streams. What do we call them?
Review,
Sure, whatever. And Russ and Eric for keeping it tight. It was like 10 minutes in and out, bang, bang, bang. It was a ridiculous number of people. So many that Dave had to do 2 streams and still did not get through everybody.
Yeah.
But thank you for all being respectful of each other and the time frame that I gave you. And so I'm sure we will do another one again.
We didn't get everybody, which
because you didn't get everybody, but everybody was good. And everybody only brought what they were supposed to bring, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You were good. You were all good little children. And so Mama will let you have another stream.
Oh man. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, actually I kind of am.
No, you're not. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Kyle Armageddon says, "Hey Dave, just wanted to say thanks again for your feedback on the review stream. I made some changes based on your feedback, and now I'm on to my next mini comic."
That's great. I'm very glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it comes
Yeah,
along.
and there was some amazing stuff on there.
Really unbelievable stuff. Like the last time we did a review stream, and it's been a couple years, I saw some really amazing stuff. But this one, just the general overall level quality was stunning, amazing. It's incredibly heartening and kind of scary at the same time because I have to compete with all you guys.
Thankfully, he's grandfathered in.
Yeah, that's kind of
for the mortgage.
It is actually kind of true. Like you get older and you kind of like you don't want to let it go, and I don't want to let it go at all. But I can kind of work in my antiquated now style. By the way, if I haven't mentioned, I do highly recommend not drawing in the style that I work in, just because it is it's an older style.
No, everything old is young again. Bell-bottom jeans are back. Neon came back. Styles come and go, and if you influence an entire generation of artists, and there's a demand for your style and your way of drawing, you created that, and you should be proud of it, and not say don't draw in my style. So hush, hush, hush.
And I don't mean that as I don't want people.
No,
you know,
I'm
it's
hushing your mouth. I'm hushing your mouth.
I mean, just from
and then moving along, I won't even let you talk like that. Don Draws Stuff has a super chat. Don says, "Hey, David Meredith, big fan for a long time. So glad I found your channel. Do you ever guest on other streams? I'd love to host you and M on mine. Thanks."
Yeah, you know, not that often. Actually, I will say, okay.
Meredith never guests.
That is true. That is actually true. But I am going to be appearing on my mind is blank. It's Chris's stream. I just think of him as Chris, Batman statue collector. I'm sorry, Chris. I think of you as Chris. So yeah, I'm going to be appearing on his stream, not this week, but I think next week coming up. I don't have it confirmed. I talked to Jason from Essential Sequential, because we had discussed it through Jason, and that's kind of what I think. Well, anyway, if not exactly then, close to that. And yes, and who asked the question, by the way?
Don Draws Stuff.
Yeah, I am not against doing that at all. I actually really enjoy it, and thank you for the invitation. And what I would say is
depends on availability. And
the best way to get a hold of me for
through Meredith.
Yes, or through Jason, because
Yes, Jason's even better.
Yes, I would recommend if you email Jason at Essential Sequential and ask him about it.
You can find contact information on his website.
Yes, and he is great for that. Like that's actually how. And look, Chris, who I love to death. I consider Chris to be a friend. I just never answer email. That's a problem.
No, he never does. He didn't even know that I emailed him the link for the Dr. Rock.
Right? Yeah, Meredith had to tell me when
He
she
doesn't
came
even
in.
read my emails to him. Fortunately, I know where he sleeps. Dr. Rock Art has a super chat. Dr. Rock says, "Dave, this cable is already looking killer."
Thank you very much, Dr. Rock. Really, thank you. And by the way, not just because you just chatted, but I don't think I mentioned, and I should have when we played the video. That was Dr. Rock's channel, and I highly recommend you find him on YouTube. I mean, he's got a lot of really great art videos, and they're just really
Like and
entertaining.
subscribe.
Dr. Rock is like everything for YouTube that I wish I could be, but I just can't. Polished personality. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's why you have me.
That's why I have you. That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna butcher this. Viniciusa Jardum. I'm sorry if I did butcher that. Have you ever drawn? This is a super chat. Have you ever drawn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I have. I did an alternate cover a few years ago. like 3 years ago, something like that. Just something really quick and simple. I would have liked to do more. I did a Donatello painting that we were going to use as a cover, and we ultimately could not because the people that, because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is licensed, and it was a painting. And because I didn't have process, like I had no evidence of the pencils or anything, they couldn't use it because they need to prove that it's done by a human, and I couldn't prove it, so we couldn't use it. So I have learned now, I make sure to take at least some kind of process just to say, look, yeah, I made this.
Another super chat from Dr. Rock. Dr. Rock says 4 horses, 4 cats, 6 guinea pigs, 3 kids. I guess you just can't see the dust in the video. And thank you for asking about a variant cover. You the best. Yeah, he's got us beat.
No, it's not.
I mean, we got him beat on horses. He beats us on cats and guinea pigs. And the kids are, I mean, ours are, we only have one left in the house. So
once you get up to like 4 horses, I think.
You have a herd.
Yeah.
Horse need to live outside.
Yeah. Guinea pigs, not so much for the dust.
No, I wouldn't think so. Okay, I'm going to read this. Plasman VW3MK. Dave, longtime fan, first chance getting to watch a stream live. Thanks for all the tutorials over the years. Do you have any tips on line control and being able to make complex curves on cars?
Okay. And thank you very much. So for line control, I find with a pen, it's a little different than with a pencil. So there are a couple of methods to get a controlled line. You know what? I think I just found this thing. I'll never find it now that I'm looking. I'll never find it. So I've got it's like this blue plastic thing that you can bend into all kinds of different shapes. There's that. And I also have a bunch of these things right here. I'm knocking into my painting table. So just using these actually can really help. I rarely ever use these. Every once in a while, with inking, sometimes I'll end up, but it's rare. Mostly I just fake it. With a pencil, it's kind of easier because I can just, I figure, okay, so I want a curve that's kind of like this. I've kind of drawn it in. You can't even really see it there, but I can kind of sculpt it in. Doing this with ink is harder. So, okay, anyway, let me get that sculpted in there. So there's my curved line, and that's how I would approach it. Just being, I try and work along with my hand instead of fighting my hand. And by that, I mean, and I think most of you guys have heard this before, but I can easily draw lines this way. If I try and push my lines, they start getting a lot messier. And then with ink, it's much more of a, I really have to be much more careful and try and single line it and follow along where my hand's comfortable. And see, I screwed it up right there already. See, it would have been better off to use a template. And then come to the end. And that's really how I would approach it. Probably the better way to do it would be to do, see if I can get that lined up somewhat. What I hate about these is trying to get a curve that follows exactly what you want. It's so freaking hard. Here we go. Just a little bit more. I watched, there's a Sonic artist that my son is a huge fan of, and I got a sketch from him for Christmas for my son. And he did all the lines on Sonic with curves like this. And he knows his curves so well that it was just fast. Like he could use curves about as fast as I could freehand it, probably faster actually, because he's not having to fight with it quite so much. But that is really, you know, the only way that I know how to do it if you're working, you know, traditionally. And you can see it's not exactly clean. I'm not the tightest artist in the whole world. And a big part of that comes from me just, I'm a penciler. And so when I ink, I tend to ink like a penciler. So a lot of, and I love inking other artists if I ever get the chance, but I always know any kind of like tight, curvy lines, those kinds of things, they always end up being not really probably what they should be.
Michael Gardner. has a super chat. Michael says, I was fortunate enough to get in on the review. Also, so awesome you do it. And I signed up for some online classes to improve my work also.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I remember Michael from the stream. It's great. Study is what makes all the difference. It's one thing to, I will say this, it's one thing to look at tutorials. You get something out of that, but you really get much more out of drawing. But when you are drawing, you get so much more out of focused study when you're drawing, rather than just, drawing pinups or drawing the kinds of things you're comfortable with. Really, studying is what makes all the difference.
All right. Next up is Darmex26. Hopefully I can share my small, this is a super chat. Hopefully I can share my small portfolio in Orlando. And if not, then I wait for the next review stream.
Well, I have no doubt. I'll be in Orlando if you're going to be there. I'm more than happy to look. I'm looking forward to it. And looking forward to seeing you there.
I will not be in Orlando.
What's the next convention you're going to?
I don't know.
See, the problem is if you go to a convention, you're still not even going to the convention.
It's true. I'm really not. Maybe New York, because then I can just go shopping.
Right.
I don't know. I just don't do conventions anymore. What am I going to do? Sit at the table for like 24 hours all day long for, you know why I don't do conventions.
Yeah. Look at how messed up that ear is.
Because I love to see people, but, then I just sit there. You get to sit there and draw.
I'm sitting there drawing or signing, but if I'm not, if there's nobody in front of me, I just start drawing. And so the day just goes.
Yeah, I just can't sit all day.
Yeah.
It's not in my nature. It just kills me.
Yeah. Yeah, when we used to do, so before Meredith worked in comics, she would come to conventions and she would stop by and hang out for a little bit, but then she would just go and, do whatever. And it worked great. And you used to do shows all the time, which was nice.
I had books to promote.
And you had books to promote. But yeah, once you really started working, it messes with your head too. It's one thing when you're just hanging out. It's another thing when you're thinking, is anybody here to see me? Or that, does anybody care?
That's terrible.
It is. It's
soul sucking.
It is. Yeah. You start, you go through like self-doubt and it's not fun.
It wasn't fun for me. I liked going when I didn't have any skin in the game.
Yeah.
Allison McGlone says, I messaged Jason too because she said I could go on her channel, but I don't do streams. I don't stream. What would I contribute to comics? I'm not even in comics anymore.
You are though.
I'm really not.
You do this.
I don't read comic books.
You are like.
I don't follow comics.
You're like comics media.
I do this.
We're comics media.
It would literally be like, it's not the same thing because it's not really comics media even, Dave.
I know.
Because we're not interviewing other people. Yeah. It's just me. It's just you and me. It's just hanging out with the Finches. It's Monday night with the Finches. It's not even really comics. It's just our family. It's the Finch flock. The Finch fam. So I don't really have anything I don't have anything to say. It's so funny because when I met you, I was the chatty one. And you were very recalcitrant. Like you would talk to me, but we would go out and you really struggled to have conversations with people.
Oh yeah, very badly.
Now I'm the recalcitrant one and you're the chatty Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really I have people come, I'm like, I got the fear coming and I got to figure out what I'm going to say to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just so, I think because I'm so quiet and in my head and I don't it's verbal communication is not my main form of communication most of my day. And so I actually find it much harder than it used to be.
I guess.
Does that make sense?
It's a skill you have to practice.
It is, but I'm okay that I don't practice it. You
know what? Ultimately for me, I just got sick of being, because I would actually just get uncomfortable around people, which is not good. I feel like, okay, I have nothing to say. I don't know what I'm, and so that would actually make me quieter because I just can't think of what to say. So yeah, I put work into just, I found, okay, you talk about other people and what they want to talk about. And it's not that hard to talk to people about what they enjoy. It basically, you ask 20 questions until you hit on something. I every once in a while, I'll try and talk to somebody, and I'll go through my 20 questions or 30 or whatever I can think of. And I'll just keep going until I can finally find something. And sometimes you just can't. I just can't do it. Like, you get one word answers out of people, and eventually I think Meredith's sister is like the greatest conversationalist I've ever met. And
if you've been to a convention and you've met Andrea because she worked for Jason for a
that's
couple
right.
of years,
Yeah.
then you know she can chat you up with the best of them.
Oh, she can. And I don't think there's anybody on earth that she couldn't get to open up. I don't have that level of skill.
And she's very genuine.
Yeah.
She makes you think she cares.
Because she does.
Because she does.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can really fake that. Or at least maybe somebody can, but yeah.
All right. Our next super chat of the night comes from Average Giuseppe, who I'm sure is anything but average. But would you ever do a real-time video about your process with the populated perspective scene?
Yes, as a matter of fact. So I have decided that that's how I'm going to do my tutorials from now on. So what I'm thinking, I have like this whole game plan. I'm thinking, okay, I'll do them here with you guys, because then I have questions from you guys, and that really kind of keeps me going. And then I also don't have to edit, which, so I did actually a couple tutorial. Well, I did one other tutorial video that was kind of, I thought, okay, this one's going to be ready to go. And I hate it. Like, I just don't want to use it. It's terrible. So I thought, yeah, I'd rather do it this way. So as soon as cable's finished, because it's mostly finished, we'll have some time to go through and do some tutorial stuff. And yeah, I think that's actually a great idea for another one to go ahead and do that. I think that'd be a blast. It's such a mechanical process. I mean, you're still drawing, but the actual process of like filling out a scene with figures and different things, once you understand the basic rules of it, it's not too hard. All in all, I hope. It's always my favorite when I say, oh yeah, here's how you do it. And then I can see, as I'm like trying to explain it, that my example is just falling apart, you know?
Oh, wow. Dr. Wargod has a super chat. Are your group shots in Skinbreaker inspired by the paintings of Jack Louis David? That's what I'm picking up on. Love the work.
You know, to be honest, I'm actually not familiar. I'll have to check it out.
Let me Google.
Yeah, I'm very curious. So group shots, I'm thinking what would be the...
Jack Louis David.
I don't know that I had like a direct inspiration for the like group shots.
Remember that famous painting of Napoleon, I think it is.
Okay.
This one.
Here, let me back up. This one. Let's see if I can make it bigger. It's... Wow. Whatever. It's beautiful. See, there's so much incredible stuff out there that I really should be aware of. Yeah. Here, I'll throw it to you.
Thank you.
No, but I'm gonna check it out more for sure. I'm thinking. So my trees, all that kind of stuff was Michael Kaluta is huge for that. P. Craig Russell. There's a little bit of Hal Foster. It definitely, depending on the scene, Hal Foster, because his stuff was much more like very realistic. He drew like he would have scenes that the trees would be indigenous to the area that is actually in the story. Like, so much thought and work went into that stuff. But yeah, that's an influence. And you know, others, but those are really the big ones. With the figures, I would say I've got all my standards, you know, Frazetta, and Kevin Nolan, and you know, so on and so forth. But I didn't really specifically look at anything for figures so much. No more than I normally would. Like, for instance, backs. I have a huge folder full of photographs of backs with different lighting and different angles and that kind of thing, because backs are so hard for me to draw, to get the anatomy looking believable. And I can fake it, and a lot of the backs in there are just drawn, but a lot of them aren't. I was looking at reference to, you know, varying levels of success, I guess. This is why everybody likes Batman. This is why I love. Okay, it's one of the reasons I love Batman, because he has a cape. So nice. Any character with a cape has a whole lot of backs you can avoid. It's probably not ideal to be just avoiding things you can't do, but
Probably not.
you know, when you're on a deadline, sometimes it's a nice feature.
Sometimes you get. You know what? The thing is, experimentation is for things like commissions
No,
and your paintings.
no. Disagree.
You think your work is for experimentation,
Yes.
and then you do your stain mold, like what people expect for commissions and paintings.
So the way that I do it is, and it's actually a really good point to bring up. The way that I do it is, if I'm on a deadline and it really has to just get done, then it's all directly out of my head. The best that I can do in the moment is I just have to get it done. If I have time, that's when I'm kind of looking through books and finding different reference, and, you know, trying to experiment and be a little bit more creative. And that actually, it takes quite a bit more time to try and do something different than it does. And it just makes sense. If you just do it the way that you're familiar, it's much easier. So when I'm drawing pages, unless I'm like really under the gun, I'm always, you know, looking. I referenced a back actually just today for the page that I drew today. I'm drawing these people suspended from the ceiling. It's based on Coma, which is a like 1972 whatever 8, I don't know, movie, and these guys are all suspended from the ceiling. So anyway, that's kind of what in the script, that was the description, and it even had a link to some Coma stuff, which didn't work. Link didn't work, but I was able to look it up. I always like it when writers give you that kind of thing. Like, they have something, a visual image in mind, and they give you like a cue. It can be very helpful. It was there. It was cooler than what I would have thought of. And I can just imagine that I can't talk about the project at all, so I can't say anything about it, but I can just imagine that, you know, it's something that the writer was a big fan of for a long time, and kind of a mental image that they had for a while. So it's nice to be able to try and make that as true to what they're thinking as I can.
All right. Just want to make sure I get the right one. Young Sinatra. Professor Finch. I can't decide what figure drawing method to use. Croquis? I don't know if I said that right. Bean? I know the line of action, but which do I pick for showing volumes best? Did I say the croquis right?
If you did, I'm just not familiar.
Croquis.
Okay, to be honest, I don't know what that is. So maybe you're saying it right. Maybe you're saying I just don't know. Okay, so
Young Sinatra, just exposing our ignorance.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's kind of that's very
Thanks,
true.
Young Sinatra. There we go. That's the end of the night.
Yeah.
Mic drop, but in a bad way, not in the Dr. Rock. Boom. I killed it kind of way.
That's right. Okay, so my preferred method is actually it's the Loomis method for overall figures and for overall shape. And I think that the closer you can get with your really, really simple figure drawing, just getting in the basic like arm, leg, whatever shape, the closer you can get to the final shape in your initial drawing, the better off you're going to be. And I love Loomis for that. he's really great. He was really great at defining those kinds of shapes in a way that made sense. Bridgman's great for just getting really interesting form and work that has like a real geometric kind of pleasing design. But in terms of putting together anatomy in a way that, and I'll be doing it actually in a bit when this is finished, putting together anatomy in a way that is really simple and easy to interpret for comics, and I think for really any figure drawing, I really like Bart Sears' method. It's like a bit of a bubble method. You draw out parts of you draw out your figure. Let me just do this really quickly. So you've got, for let's say a leg. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw in my leg shape, and see, the closer I can get to the final shape of the leg in the initial drawing, obviously it's going to make everything much easier. So there's my basic leg shape drawing, just done really quickly. And then from here, I'm going to lighten it down a little bit. And then the Bart Sears method really is to just draw in the muscles as kind of more simplified bubble shapes. So you've got this central muscle that fits in here. You've got a stripe, like a long stringy deal that goes here. This muscle fits in here. Bit of a tendon there. My knee is going to fit in here. And you want to make sure everything has a beginning and an end. Like you're not just leaving shapes stranded. So here's more muscles. And that's basically it. I mean, it's pretty simple, and really simple. And then from there, I can erase this down and start to actually define my shapes and go with it. And I just really like that. But what makes it much easier is when you have an initial shape that really works. If you don't, these kinds of shapes they'll work and you can kind of start to form things up using them, but it's much easier when you do your basic gesture drawing so much that you start to get the overall shape of the body in your gestures. That's my approach. There are other approaches, I'm sure. To me, I've found that to be the most effective.
Thank you. David Vasquez has a super chat. Your work has really helped my journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. What really amazed me too, Meredith, is doing the review streams, hearing from people that they felt like some of the video stuff and that kind of thing was helpful, and from artists that draw nothing like me at all. And that's such a nice thing, because the core concepts behind making this stuff work, they're not style dependent at all. I think it can be a little bit more difficult to interpret things from somebody that draws really differently. But yeah, I was very happy to hear that.
That's awesome. Dr. Wargod, what do you think of Skinbreaker regular versus the Treasury Edition colors?
The colors are the same. There's no difference in the initial file that's printed. The difference really is the colors in the Treasury. The Treasury is a larger edition. Are printed on a more absorbent paper, so they really read differently. And I actually prefer it quite a bit. I really like it. It's more of a classic kind of comic look, and something that I don't think you can get with the more glossy modern paper. So I really like it. Things are muddier too, though. So even at a larger size, there's detail that you just don't see as clearly. So that's it's like the give and take, you know. And this is why part of a big reason why back in the day, you were really discouraged from using too much tiny little detail in your drawing. It had to be more graphic because the paper just couldn't support those little lines. It would just disappear. Now it's not such a problem, but it's definitely something. I remember so the day that I got my first job at Top Cow, or well, the day that I talked to people from Top Cow, I still had to do a pinup and like try and prove myself and whatever. But the day that I talked to them and kind of got my like foot in the door, Dan Frago was actually at the convention. This is in New York, in Long Island. And he was very supportive, and he was saying, this stuff looks good. He said, but you really have to be aware, like this stuff just won't print, because I still have the tendency to over detail. I was definitely doing it then. And so it's something that I had to kind of focus on. When I got back home, I put more study into looking at the kinds of lines that print and the kinds of things that published artists were doing, and I started trying to adapt what I was doing to match that better. And it was very, very helpful advice, actually. It was really, really helpful.
Brontosaurus Boy has a super chat. Amazing work. Do you have a streaming schedule? I can answer this one. Every Monday night.
Well, barring I'm going to be in Orlando, so I won't be able to do next Monday.
Are you not coming home?
I am, but
Are you going to be gone that long?
The thing is,
we're just back and then we're gone again.
I know, but Eric can't do it. He's going to be in Orlando still.
Oh, fair enough.
It's very difficult. Eric, we stream sometimes. We haven't done it for a little while. I mean, he did the review stream, but
oh no. You know what you should do?
What?
Eric has Facebook. You should live stream your painting session from OAX.
Yeah, we could do that.
Eric, did you hear me? Eric, live stream your painting session from OAX. Bring yourself a little tripod for your phone and live stream. Then you're streaming, Dave.
Eric,
can tie it in with your face. You can repost it to YouTube.
Eric just died a little inside. Like, no,
he did not.
Oh, too much pressure.
Dave's gonna have his phone. If you don't do it, Eric, I'll make Dave do it. I'll make him video it, and then I'll stream it, and then I'll put stuff on it that you don't want me to say.
All right. Well, there you go.
So threats and leverage. Sheldon Martin has a super chat. Sheldon says, thanks, Dave, for the draw and review streams. Time goes by and you realize how precious time is. Glad when you can fit them in with everything else y'all have going on. Monday, Miss Meredith rocks. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. MMR. Miss Meredith rocks. Eric and Russ are mods. Mods with the bods.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know if they have bods because I met Eric in person, but I've never met Russ in person.
Russ is
the dad bods. Are they both dads? Can I say mods with the dad bods?
Russ is actually an international spy.
Well,
like James Bond style. In case you, yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't actually have anything to be spying on. I ride horses.
Yeah.
That's it.
Eric.
Live in my house, order my groceries online.
Did I say Eric? I meant Russ. Did I say Russ? Now I'm confused.
I don't know.
I meant Russ.
You're confusing me now. You said Russ.
I know. Did I? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Russ.
He's 007.
He only specializes in the, Goldfinger type villains.
MI6.
Yeah. Basically, you have to have a hook. Otherwise, he doesn't bother.
What would be the point?
What would be the point?
Greg Static Art has a super chat. What are your thoughts on Hampton's lessons?
Speaking of me not knowing anything.
What is you guys are just pulling names out tonight, trying to make Dave look like a fool.
So I'm familiar with Scott Hampton, who's an incredible artist, comic artist. I don't know. I just don't know.
Maybe Scott Hampton did lessons.
Here's the problem.
We're getting older. Pardon my yawn. We're getting older. We're so out of touch. We don't even know who half these people are anymore. Do you feel like you've officially lost touch with even artwork and reality?
maybe
This is why I just ride my horses, because you know what? They don't care. I
there
don't need to be hip to be cool there.
there are so many different ways to study like basic forms and like foundational things. I have been doing this for a long time. When I'm studying, I looked at Loomis. I did a Loomis review, and this is before I had the channel. Every once in a while, I'll kind of do that again. Try and kind of go back and refine things like that. But I definitely have a method that I'm comfortable with and I feel like works for me. And so I never really go back through and just do like a total overhaul of like a different tutorial style, truthfully. Considering I do the channel, maybe I should, but at the same time though, I mean, those people are very effectively doing what they do already. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not familiar. You guys are really catching us out tonight.
Seriously.
We don't know nothing.
We are. There are nights we're on fire, and tonight we are freaking in the freezer.
Yeah, well, hopefully my tutorial doesn't go that way too. It could.
Good. It could be just that kind of night.
Well, that's always the worry. Like there are times like I start doing a tutorial and
We
I
party
realize,
too hard on Valentine's Day.
I realize, oh man, like this doesn't even make sense to me what I'm saying right now, and I just like stop and regroup. I've refilmed entire tutorials before,
Now
so
go live.
yeah, that's the.
The
risk
problem
of
is I'm
doing
not
this.
paying attention to you when you talk half the time.
Well, and if
It
you
could
guys,
be bad, and I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
for any of you that have watched, a few of these streams, you've probably seen me completely fall on my face when I try and explain. Like, oh yeah, it's really simple. You just do this, and then I like the drawing that I'm doing is just a mess, and
It
just
just
doesn't
makes
work.
you human.
Yeah.
Newt number 3 has a super chat. Hi, Dave and Meredith. Hi, Newt. Dave, how do you draw a smirking character? I have trouble deforming the lips and cheeks to look natural and not just crooked. Thank you.
All right, hang on. Okay. So I had a pencil. Here it is. All right. So I'm going to draw basically a face.
Oh, and Jason's here on the stream.
Oh, hey. Jason Schechter.
Yes,
Jason, he's awake.
Jason's awake.
Well, it's not that. It's still pretty early.
Yeah, if Jason's not up, I don't know what's going on. I feel like he's more of a late night guy than an early bird morning.
I feel like I might be in trouble now.
He's checking up on you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to here's my mouth. Chin, which really doesn't change. Let's just get my head kind of drawn in, and then we'll start to change it. It is unfortunate since I'm drawing this so quickly. It's a little difficult to make it as clear. And this is what happens a lot of times with tutorials when I'm doing them this way is my initial, like this stage is just so loose that it just doesn't really work for what I'm trying to make it work for. Like his head's a little short there. All right. So the first thing is if I really want to make somebody grin, you don't want to round the mouth up this way. It doesn't work. What you want to do is really just raise that whole lip nice and high. And you can keep it fairly flat. You can bring up the edges a little bit, but you really want to be careful not to just round that whole, unless you're looking down at a face where it naturally rounds around the jaw. And you want to lift your nostrils. So if normally your nostrils would be just a little bit more flat. So here's my nose. They're just, a little bit more flat. What I want to do is really bring them up because you're lifting your nose and you're crinkling your nose. And then you have a line that comes around here, doesn't connect to the mouth, but it comes around it. And while you do have a smile, I'm doing a bit of this isn't a grin. This is more of an evil grin. I'm going to bring up the bottom of my eyes. See how bringing them up, like curving them upward into the eye more, it is because your cheeks, when you do that, your cheeks come up. And so what I'm also going to do is accentuate my cheeks because my cheeks are being kind of deformed outward. And everything, it's basically like wrinkles in the skin that come out around the mouth like this. Here's my bottom lip. My teeth are only so wide, so I'm going to have dark corners in here. And it's going to be all stretched around the mouth. And that's really how you can kind of make that work. And then there are obviously subtle variations. You can make somebody, happy, genuinely happy, as opposed to more of a maniacal sneer. I'm not going to go into a bunch of different versions because we could be here all night doing these, but that's it. Not drawing the mouth as like a smile, making sure to deform and define the shape of your, you can see it on my mouth, these folds around your mouth, and then bringing out your cheeks because they're being squished upwards, so they kind of bulge out just a little bit, and that's enough to kind of sell the expression. So there you go. And the teeth, very important. If you have the mouth open like that, don't draw teeth all the way to the edge of the mouth because your teeth are only so wide.
Thank you. It's like tutorials on top of tutorials tonight. Tonight's a tutorial stream.
Well, this cable picture is taking me forever. So, by the way,
it's mini tutorials.
You
may
realize
not get a tutorial tonight.
You realize Jason is here.
Yeah.
And I told him this picture was done like
no.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, you've been caught out.
Dang it.
Well, now you know it will be done, Jason, tonight.
He's known me long enough to know if he hasn't seen it, it's probably a lie.
No, that's not necessarily true. Greg Staticard has a super chat. Michael Hampton.
Michael Hampton. Yeah, I'm totally not familiar. I will have to take a look. Michael Hampton. All right.
And Young Sinatra has another super chat. Dave and Meredith, where comic drawing can be so isolating, how do I find my true love while striving for comic art greatness?
Well, finding romance is isolating nowadays. Nobody meets anybody just organically the way that people used to. Everybody meets online.
No, that's what he meant by his true love. Maybe he meant.
Okay, I'm assuming.
You think romantic?
Maybe that's what I'm assuming he meant.
I mean, I met Dave online.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's Lava Life. That app, website, whatever, doesn't even exist anymore because we've been together for 20 years.
I remember Matt Banning years and years ago, Bat, the inker, saying that comic artists, if you go into it with a girlfriend, you'll have a girlfriend. If you don't, you'll be single forever. We were young. And since then, everybody's basically met somebody, I mean,
I think, I got to think it's got to be so much easier to meet people these days because everybody's meeting people online. Everett met the girl he's going to marry on Snapchat.
It's very easy, but I think people find other people more disposable than they once did because there are 30 other people that you can just instantly swipe past.
Well, first of all, don't break up with somebody on a text. If you want to be the person, okay, Meredith's love advice. If you want to be a person who has a person, be a person worth dating. Open the door. Pay for dinner, because most of the people listening to this are guys, let's be honest. Open the door. Pay for dinner. Be respectful. Be polite. Be a gentleman. That's what I want as a woman. I wasn't dating you if you didn't do all those things for me.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously,
I reciprocate in other ways, but don't
everybody's different.
Everybody's different, but common courtesies. Be polite. Take a shower. I have to tell Isaac that. I'm like, you're going to go to school, take a shower. Nobody wants to be next to a guy who's stinky. I say to him, brush your teeth, simple things.
I would say the number one thing is to be accountable.
And be accountable.
Not create a reality around what like if you're wrong.
Be truthful. Don't.
Yeah. Be able
honest.
to admit that you're wrong. It's so difficult to deal with somebody that can't admit when they're wrong.
Oh my gosh, now we're a dating site.
I know. It's out of control.
We need to move on. What is happening to us this year?
Meanwhile, that's totally not what he meant.
I mean, he's probably meant something totally different.
I know.
But there we are. Love life advice from David and Meredith, Monday Night Draw.
Potentially completely unsolicited.
Completely unsolicited. I'll tell you how to sleep. Dave, I'll tell you how to date. Blah, 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 blah. Dave will show you how to draw.
I'll tell you how to draw with having no idea about half the art that's out in the world.
At least we're honest that we really don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not pretending to be an expert on anything. Mystery Meat has a super chat. Hi, David Meredith. Feeling a bit bogged down learning advanced 3D shapes and perspective. How do I know if I'm a good enough artist to go pro?
Okay, well, this is not good advice, probably, and not very helpful, and it's a bit of an eye roller. But the biggest indication that you're good enough to go pro is people want to hire you. Really. But, I mean, that's really not helpful when you're just looking at your artwork, I know. So I don't want to be glib about it. You need to, first of all, I think the most important thing is to decide the kind of artist you want to be. And by that, I mean, you are an artist. So you have a vision of what you would like your work to look like. But then also you have to bear in mind that comics is an entertainment medium. And it's not just a pure art form where you can just, even honestly, even with like fine art, you have to appeal to an audience. So that should be a factor. And it's something that you should be thinking about is this work appealing? Like, for instance, for comics, you're drawing aspirational characters. Hold on. You're drawing aspirational characters, and they need to look aspirational. And, you know, it doesn't mean they need to be beautiful. They can be intimidating looking, like Bane or whatever, but they need to be like, basically you want to draw characters that look like something that people would like to imagine themselves being in some way. Even the villains, like, you know, nobody wants to be like a loser villain that is unintimidating to anyone around and it's just a joke. That's not a good villain. And so when you're drawing, I think it's really important, if you want to do superhero comics, for sure, to think about that. But really, kind of almost any sort of comic that you want to do, learning how to make your characters attractive is very, very important. So that's something that you really need to think about a lot, just as a general, you know, pointer. In terms of like 3D shapes, ideally what you want to do is work with the simplest shapes that you can work with. Like a car, you can break down into a simple rectangle, really. And then you can, like, so if I need to draw a car, let's say I'm just going to draw a rectangle in perspective, like a really simple faked perspective. So now that I have that, I've got one wheel I want to go here and the other wheel I want to go here. So I'm going to draw a wheel well here, another one here. And what I'm doing here is just doing a quick rough-in, which I could clean up. By the way, using reference really helps. So now I've got the front of my car. It's going to be curved a little bit. I want a bumper here, but I'm just following the really simple shape that I had. Obviously, I don't want to be going all high like that with it, but I'm going to put my windshield here. Now I'm going to come up from this a little bit. Give it a little emblem there. Headlights go in here. Here's my door. Give it a mirror. This is the worst car on earth. This is what I talk about. Like, yeah, look, we do a tutorial thing and it's going to be total trash. But this is how I can really quickly kind of sketch in just like a basic junky car that works well enough. Obviously, if I was using reference, it would be better. But I'm not drawing all these really complex shapes and getting really confused. I'm using like, use my chair. I'm using a really, really simple shape. Or if I want to be maybe a little bit more friendly to myself, I could use like a couple of shapes. But I don't start with all these curves and that kind of thing. I know I can curve from this point to here, and I connected basically to the same part of my upright that way. And then here, I'm just below the line there and there. Here, because I went higher, this is actually, strictly speaking, it would be like another shape up here. But anyway, you want to just keep it as simple as possible when you do your overall shape design. Like a gun, if I just draw a really simple shape like this, and then for the butt of the gun, it doesn't go straight down. It actually kind of comes back at an angle like this. And then I can just start to go ahead and actually draw in all the detail that makes up my actual shape that I want to, anyway. Then it gets more complex and it can look really confusing, and you can think, oh man, like how would you just draw something? But you're just starting with really, really simple shapes. So there you go. Don Draws Stuff says, guns are easy, refrigerator to handle, Liefeld style. And that's what we're doing tonight.
What? You just reading super chats now?
I looked up and I saw it and I thought it was funny.
You're skipping a hint. Like, I got a system here. Stop that.
I'm just going to say, like, Liefeld style guns, Liefeld style, so many things. People say, oh, it's, whatever. Like,
Stop.
Who did it before him?
Stop.
He invented all this stuff.
Stop.
How many people can say that?
Stop. You're jumping. You're going ahead. I got people in the queue.
Okay.
Adam Gehring has a super chat. Adam says, I never knew who Loomis was coming up. For those struggling with that method, I like Stephen Rogers. Stephen Rogers Peck, Atlas of Human Anatomy for the Artist. For gesture and figure drawing, Glenn Villepeu.
All right.
I don't know if I read that properly but
Yeah.
There's a lot of names there. Loomis, Stephen Rogers Peck, Atlas of Human Anatomy for the Artist, and Glenn Villepeu for gesture and figure drawing. For anyone struggling with Loomis.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, for me, Loomis made sense and it worked, but we're all different. And like, there's Bern Hogarth that just I could not make work for me at all. And I know artists that do amazing work and are heavily, heavily influenced by him. So there's no, I keep coming off this is, since I didn't use a ruler and actually line this out properly, you can see how much I'm fighting with my gun now because my perspective key's coming off. Really needed to actually do this properly.
No, maybe you should. Newt number 3. Thank you. I have been studying your tutorials for a year and I've gotten so much better. You are inspiring a whole generation of artists.
Thank you very, very much.
And Kishan Patel has a super chat. Tips on drawing muscles in extreme foreshortened limbs. I find it harder as limbs come up to horizontal and point out from the paper. For example, Cable's right leg.
It actually works really, really, you know what, let's just do it really quickly because it works so similarly to the way I really quickly did a terrible drawing of a car and a gun. Let's just do it. So I'm going to draw, here's my pelvis. Got it tilted down a little bit. My hip bone is here and here on my pelvis. And so the top of my actual leg, I want to connect to that hip bone like this. Makes it easy to line up. And this leg, I want to connect to the hip bone here. And so I don't need to worry about anything that's going on back there right now. All I need to worry about is just drawing a tube in space. So here's my tube in space. If I want to draw the tube coming out at a softer angle, basically not quite so much toward me, I can draw it more like this. If I want it to be coming almost directly at me, I mean, I think you get the idea. Basically, the round is much more of a complete circle here, be a bit more of an oval here, really, and a much softer oval here. And so if you can get familiar with drawing that, that will get you most of the way. So what I want to do, depending on where I want that knee to be and how short I want the leg, I can draw that knee really, really close and have it really coming toward me. Let's do that. So here's my leg coming toward me. And as a simple tube, it's not really going to totally work. I need to still get the shape of the anatomy kind of in there. And because I'm really foreshortened, I'm also going to be much more angular and shorter with my anatomical shapes. And my knee, let's draw the lower part of the leg first. Okay, so I actually need to kind of figure out a knee. Just doing a circle is not really going to help so much. I have basically what I'm going to draw in really simple terms is this shape here. I don't want to draw it all the way through. Like so I do it this way because then what I can do is I can draw my muscles on here, and that gives me the kind of upper shelf of the knee, and that just really works. So this is such a Frazetta cheat, and it really works every time because what you're doing by drawing the knee dark like that, and this is what happens when I try and describe too many things at once, and don't erase. You can see how I'm really creating a plane there. And I really like that as a technique. It just works. And because I drew that such a simple shape, it looks pretty bad. You actually still need to have some anatomy going on. You can't just get away with that. But in terms of like making it work for shortening and kind of getting your placement and that kind of thing, it does work. So there you go. A really simple, kind of like coming out. You don't have to do your knees that way. I like it. And I really like it too, because I've got a real light here and then a total dark here. And so it really creates a plane change that is more difficult to describe in a more subtle way. So there you go. And I could make the leg here. Let's just do this really quick. We're going to be here all night. I'm sorry.
Do I need to interrupt?
Nope. So now I'm going to draw my knee down here and kind of angle it more. So the leg's still coming out at me, and my knee will be here. My lower leg will be here. And you can see it's the same thing. What I did is just went more with this than with this. And that's really all there is to it. Getting all the anatomy to work, all that kind of thing is another challenge, obviously. But the placement is what's most important. And so that is just a really easy way to get placement that works. Yeah, we are going to hit a point where I do kind of need to, it's already 8:13.
Yeah, we just skip through, right on through book of the week.
Well, the thing is,
you're not going to get this done.
It's going to take me the entire time to do this.
Yeah, no more tutorials.
Oh, no, we'll do it.
No,
but what I'm going to end up doing is,
tonight, though.
Yeah, I'll do it tonight because we said we were going to do it. But what I'm going to do is wrap this up in another 10 minutes, and then I'll just have to finish it later.
All right. Giovanni Canelli has a super chat. Hey, Diva Meredith, I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Giovanni.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, I could have like a poll. What would you guys rather see? The tutorial or me finishing this thing? But we already said we are going to do a tutorial.
Well, let's do a poll.
No, we said we'd do a tutorial.
Poll.
So we're going to do it.
Poll. And since we're far enough along, hit like and subscribe.
Well, this is the problem too.
We're not going to do book of the week at this point.
This is really the difference between the kind of sketch that I do on Monday Night Draw, and this is something that's a little bit more complete.
Yeah, it's like
you can see the time gets exponential. Like it just takes me so much more time to do something tighter and bigger like this. It just is what it is.
Like and subscribe. We're polling. Only one vote so far, and that's Drawing Hard, who says the cable drawing is kind of a tutorial all in itself. Bat Force Robin says compromise, a tutorial on drawing poles. Sheldon says do tutorial from the book of the week. 2 birds with 1 stone, but we're not even going to do a book of the week this week because we're already 8:15. We skipped right through it. Drew check 5254. Hey Dave, thank you for the stream. I've been going through your Marvel catalogs and trying and failing to replicate your art. LOL. Anyway, keep up the good work. You're helping us more than you know.
Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it.
Barbarian fan says, no book of the week. What? No book of the week? Adam Gehring says whatever Mara says because he's a smart man.
Adam, you don't even have to live with her. I have to agree. I have no choice.
Yeah, it's a verbal poll. Finished cable, says Ricardo Dickerson. There's no, everybody's like, I don't see a poll. There's no poll. Like, I don't know how to do that. It's a verbal poll. Input your vote into the chat, and then I'll decide. Poll. You guys are like so high tech. Like, you think we actually know how to use the internet?
Well, I'm going to say this then. If you guys want me to just finish cable, I will do that. And then next week we will just do just a tutorial and like spend the time on it.
Eric says 1 for cable, 2 for tutorial, go. See, Eric has to do it. Eric's running the pool now.
Is he? Okay. We're continuing our record.
It's really 50-50. I think you just finished cable.
Okay, I'm going to finish cable. We'll come back and we'll do
There'll be a tutorial next week.
Yeah, and I'll just.
You weren't here for, let's be honest. You weren't here for the tutorial tonight. You were here to watch Dave draw.
Yeah, and so when we do it, we'll just do a tutorial.
No, you don't have to do an actual poll, Eric. I executive decisioned it.
Well, the thing is,
because I could do that.
This cable,
and I did.
This cable so needs to be finished. First of all, I don't know if Jason's still here. I already told him it was done, and it needs to be done for OAX. So,
which I will not be at.
And hey, you know, the nice thing is, since I have the time, I can actually do some of the, like, get the background in properly, do some of the kinds of things I never get to do on the live stream because it just takes too much time.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to watch him like finish a piece properly.
Yeah. I'm working a little quicker than I would on a cover, but really not too much.
This is like Dave working.
This is, yeah, much more like my actual job.
You're watching Job Dave work now, not like Monday Night Draw Dave. So yeah, I picked that. Who wouldn't pick that? Why wouldn't you pick that? We can do a tutorial anytime.
And we will.
And we will.
Now I'm going to have to go through and change the channel description. I'm not speaking now. The channel description or the video description.
Because just take out body type tutorial.
Well, because what I don't want is somebody to look at it later and go, hey, you lied.
Yeah. And then scroll through the whole thing and go, why isn't there a body type tutorial?
Right. That's what I mean. Not so much that, right. Yeah. All right. I swear, blacking it out.
It's so late.
Blacking it out is like my #1 technique. I don't know what goes there exactly. Is it looking right? Whatever. Black it out.
Looks good though. It works for you. I got people still voting. I already executive decisioned it.
Yeah, the only reason I decided I wanted to do it because I think tutorials would be a lot more fun for me to do with you guys. But also because I thought, well, you know, cable's mostly done. I'll just get it finished and I won't have time for, you know, like I'll be sitting here. Wrong.
So Dave and I were talking tonight about AI. And I was like, I can't be bothered learning how to do that. Like I don't have it in me to learn more technology. And then David said, you just have to pick which AI you want to use. And then you literally just type lengthen the hair and it lengthens the hair. Your biggest decision is, do you want to use Chat GTP or what's another one?
Grok. What's the Anthropic one? Claude. Yeah, anyway.
I still don't have the energy for it. I do not have the mental bandwidth.
Well, I guess you have to have a use for it. It depends on what you do. Like I don't have a use for it. you know, I mean, you can use it for art for sure, but the minute I start doing that, like, what do you need me for? This is the problem with all of it, though.
Well, apparently people use it to edit photographs. And I mean, I do take photos of the horses, but honestly, I'd just rather see a picture of your actual horse.
Yeah.
Darmax26 says rather use AI for possible concept art to take bits from.
Yeah. Now, the risk of that, of course, is that it's all just based on what people have already done. So you're always going to end up with something that is derivative of other stuff that's there. So if you really want something different, AI is not going to get you there.
No, but it's a, you know.
If you want it to look kind of like an Andy Park design for a Marvel superhero character. Andy Park is the lead designer for Marvel Studios.
Sheldon says I'd rather use AI to do my taxes for me. I'm like, bang on with that one. AI, give me the best investment portfolio. Those are the places where I think people need to be worried.
People that work in like accounting, that kind of thing. I mean,
yeah. Although I'm still not giving my taxes to an AI.
nah. Now, you know what? There are times I'm glad I'm old. When I think about AI, it makes me glad I'm old.
Keep talking. I'm yawning.
All right.
We've hit that point of the evening. Okay, I have to reboot because I'm only at 41 likes, and I know we probably have more than 41 likes. So I'm going to scroll through. I think I got all the super chats thus far tonight, so I'm not going to lose any super chats from anybody. And now I'm going to refresh my screen. Click, click. 1, 2, 3, click. And then I'm going to hit play, click. Oh, Eric updated the video description because he's the bomb. And we have 350 likes because I was number 350. If you have not already liked it, click the like button. If you have not already subscribed, and I can't think of why not, but if you haven't and you're listening to me now, hit the subscribe button. 565,000 people must know something that you don't know. So subscribe.
It's like my favorite Formula One YouTuber says, if you aren't subscribed, what are you even doing?
If you won't subscribe?
If you aren't subscribed.
Oh, yeah. What are you even doing? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? If you're an art person, why are you not subscribed? Dang 9125 says, just throw your money into a target date retirement, low cost index fund and call it a day. Love it.
We're doing that, right? Kind of?
Yeah,
Somewhat.
we're spending it all right now.
Yeah, I know. We put it all on horses.
Oh, we're spending it all. Meatball Sub says, I think AI is better suited for computational physics and physics simulations. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sheldon Martin, 500,000 people don't know Michael Hampton, but they do now.
See, there you go.
See the power of the subscription.
Yeah, this really is a much more like complete drawing for sure.
Spade 1 McDysentery. I just subscribed and now I know the thing the non-subscribers don't. Exactly. Now you're in the know. Now you're part of the club. Now you're special. I shouldn't say that though, because you're all special anyway. Even if you're not subscribed, we still love you. If you're here, we love you. Don't make me pressure you, but let me pressure you.
Well, yeah.
I mean, not really pressure. I mean, I got to do it. It's fun.
Look,
but I'm not actually literally like.
No, because
there's
ultimately,
no pressure. Life is life.
And,
do you?
Yeah,
and we love you for it.
It's not my job. You know,
we're not selling anything.
No,
No one's making money here when you click the subscribe button.
I never even remember to monetize it. You're supposed to hit the thing to monetize your videos, like your YouTube, whatever.
We're not paying the mortgage.
I never bother. I
Not
always
from
forget.
this.
Yeah.
There are people that make money on YouTube. We are not them.
No.
We are not that. When we talk about technology, this is as good as it gets for us.
Well, I did
I can hold the
Squarespace.
mic and talk into it.
I did Squarespace, and I think somebody else. I did ads years ago, and they were fine. Like I don't want to say like there was some kind of a problem or anything, but I hated doing it so much. I thought, okay, this is really, I'm not doing this. I'm not into it. So
Sheldon Martin says, I tell my boss I have to leave work in time for my night job because Meredith pressures me. Sheldon, you can't be late. So, you're not wrong there. We count on all of you. We count on the OGs, the regulars. I'm like, why don't I see this person? Where are they? Are they okay? Like, I want to know you guys are here with us and that you're healthy and well, none of us are wealthy, but wise, healthy and wise.
somebody here might be wealthy. You never
Well,
know.
maybe somebody is.
Just none of us sitting in this room.
Not us, because I'm spending all our money on horses.
That's right.
Charles Petrie says, I have Mondays off. C. Burke says, I want to go home early for Monday night draw. Now we're getting a roll call. I'm going to, is it Navy Shark? He's not here tonight.
You see Dan Genovese?
Where's Kenny? Where's Kenny Wong?
Yeah. See,
Not here anymore. He abandoned us.
did he? Has he not been around
I
for a
haven't
little
seen
while?
him forever. Kenny's gone.
Kenny's gone.
He's like, that's it.
He might be back someday.
Peace out, Finches. That's what he says.
You never know. I don't think we made him mad. Hopefully,
Who's to say?
who's to say? If we made you mad, Kenny, we're sorry.
Adam Gearing wants to know, where can I buy a Finch Flock t-shirt? Did Jason have them?
Yeah, so we had some for sale. We did live streams a couple weeks ago with Essential Sequential, and we did another one too, and I don't know, unfortunately. But Essential Sequential is the place to go to for that. I don't know that. I'm going to say that I'm pretty sure we're sold out right now. But
But if there's
Jason's.
demand, we can get more.
Oh, Jason's going to print more. Or I guess you don't print. What do you do?
Anthony G's here. Extreme Maybe's here. Allison's here. Adam's here. JDSCT's here.
That's the thing. We're missing a few, and it always makes me
We got a
sad.
lot of the OGs still
But
here.
yeah. Also, we might not have seen Greg. Now I'm all focused on Greg. We might not have seen him since we came back.
Greg who?
Greg.
Greg Alstatic Arts here tonight.
No. Oh
You're
yeah.
talking about Kenny.
Kenny. Right.
You're talking about Kenny.
Yeah. So
Maybe Kenny gave up on us.
you're bound to lose people.
Somebody
when you
reach
disappear
out
for a
and
long
say,
time.
Kenny, where are you? No. Dave's tired. I don't know. Dave's delusional. Greg, we know you're here.
Yes, and I knew Greg was here. I got Kenny confused with Greg.
Virgilio Calgano comic says, I'm drawing along the stream and slowly letting sleep make me lose my mind. Dennis Kelly says, wasn't Kenny in school or college? I think he was. Maybe he got a job.
Maybe.
Maybe he doesn't love us anymore.
Maybe.
I'm going to find him. Somebody find him.
Okay, stop. Stop before I start getting out of control.
No, it's fun. Tomorrow morning, Kenny's going to wake up and he's going to be like, why did Meredith text me?
Yeah, like what the heck is going on?
What is happening?
Whack
here?
job. This is why I stopped watching in the first place.
Yeah. Extreme maybe says, when you say OG, do you mean old guys? Well, we're all old. Maybe no, there's young people here too, but we're old.
I guess it kind of is old guys. I always thought it was original gangster.
It is the OG's original gangsters. Sheldon Martin says, I still see Kenny post on Instagram every once in a while.
He's out there. He's just done with us.
He just gave us up. We took a break.
I haven't posted on Instagram for so long. The only thing I've been posting on Instagram is
Ooh, listen to this. Antonio C says, I just made a purchase on Gonk Bonk for a blind bag of Skin Breaker and pulled the portrait of Shul.
nice.
Nice.
And thank you very much.
Paul's here. Paul Essenart is here. Charles Petrie's here. And I agree, Charles, getting old does beat the alternative.
Yeah.
My plan is to be riding at 80. Have you seen Chuck Norris? We were talking about that today. He is 85 and he's still riding horses. That's my goal. My goal.
That's a good
One
goal.
mighty hour. I'm not old yet. I've been 30 for 5 years. Oh my gosh. If you're 30, just go away. We're in our 50s here.
Yeah, you realize this. Most of our audience, you just told to go away.
No.
You realize that, right?
Stop it. They know I don't mean it. It's like
Yeah.
talking to you. It's just part of the fun, Dave. You're so serious tonight.
Apparently.
Taking everything I say seriously. I mean, isn't Eric in his 30s? Is he 40s now?
Oh, no, he's late 40s.
Oh, well. What do I know? Larry's 65.
Larry Lambert, 65, yeah.
Art 9, I have an 85-year-old. Art 9 is not 85, but he has an 85 years, so I don't know.
Unfortunately, I'm actually not really looking or at all looking at the original. So, and I want to give him a little, I love these kind of little buckles. So you do a little curve like this, and then you do one
You're
like
talking
this.
about art now. Hold on. I'm going to be talk about art, Dave.
And then it looks like a whole kind of a thing. And then you can do like it's kind of a deal there. Classic 90s style.
Alice McGlone says, my body is my temple, crumbling and likely haunted. So what do you have left to do on this piece?
The whole background.
The whole background. The background is black and white.
Well, what I need to do is I need to finish his hand a little bit here, this leg,
I'm
and
going to make it.
oh, you'll make it. I'm actually coming closer to the end than
Can
you
you
might
sing
think.
a song?
Did you ask me if I can sing a
Yeah,
song?
you sing a song. I'm going to close my eyes and go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Lullaby.
Oh, no. Stop.
Lullaby. Go to sleep, little baby.
Yeah, no, we're getting actually pretty close to the end here. Believe it or not. Closer than you might think.
I've been going to bed at 8:30 every night, and I cannot believe how hard it is hitting me. My body's like, 8:30, you should be asleep. It's 8:33. Why are your eyes still open?
Like all the small detail stuff, like where I had to really kind of focus and be tighter, is basically done. This is how these pictures always go. Once I start getting into like the rocks, it'll get more gestural, gets a lot quicker. But like the really intensive detail stuff is basically finished. Like even these packs here, I can be more gestural. It doesn't have to be as tight. As a matter of fact, it's actually more of a detriment if it is as tight. Because you want to kind of focus your eye a little bit. I taught myself this so I can hack. Not really though. I think it is actually true. Having the whole picture be like an equal level of like detail and tightness.
Oh, no, you can't do that. Then it just all looks like a flat page. That is okay. So here's, you know what? Let me just stop you right there, because you don't talk about this very often, but this is an accurate and true statement. You cannot detail every single part of your page to the same degree, because that just makes your page look flat. That is part of how you create depth. Picking things where you're accentuating the detail and knowing when to back off the detail in other places.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want your little art tip for the night. That is it, because I cannot tell you how many times I have seen artwork from people and the whole page is just flat because they are so obsessed with detail and they don't understand.
Well, you see me do it.
You have done it sometimes, yes. But you didn't even do it. Like, you detailed the crap out of Skin Breaker, but you knew still you were able to create depth and dimension in those pages.
That actually reminds
Because
me.
That is what comes from how many years have you been doing this job?
Yeah, a lot of years. I got issue 6 of Skinbreaker. Like we have it here. I think it comes out on Wednesday. And there are pages where it's definitely much more open because there's like a scene with a waterfall and some different, like there's some scenes in the water, and there's only so much I can do for detail. And I remember when I was drawing those thinking, oh, like I'm not doing as much. I'm kind of fallen off on the job a little bit. But when I looked at the issue, it actually, I think it works because it's like a bit of a visual break just from like the detail that I put into that book. I think there are places where, and I appreciate you saying that, but I think it can be a little too much here and there.
Okay. You did how many pages of Skinbreaker? So, but for the most part, you do a very good job of balancing it. And it just like for people who are just walking into it and thinking, I need to detail, there's a time and a place to know when to detail.
Yeah.
And how much detail to do and where to focus your detail.
Yeah, where you can get away with a much looser, like my line style is even much looser here. I'm throwing these lines a lot quicker. I couldn't get away with that with a lot of the figure, which is why it's 8:37 and I'm, had this picture mostly finished and we're still kind of cranking.
By the way, one of our OGs, Henry Jeremy McDave,
Yes.
has asked, Meredith, can you please ask Dave if he will honor the passing of Sal Buscema by drawing Rom Space Knight on Monday Night Draw?
Yeah, I think that would be very nice. Certainly. Actually be a lot of fun too. I've drawn Space Knight, Rom Space Knight before. I did it for a commission years ago. Just get rid of that. Again, this is like, it's not really working. It's a little too much. I'm just going to get rid of it. And then just using a line to hopefully try and just push it back a little bit. So I've got to do his leg now. And then we're really in the home stretch. Oh, and his hand a little bit. Here, hold on.
And Navy Sharks is here.
Ah.
Maybe he heard me like call his name.
Well, I'm glad.
And
Makes
appeared
me
in the
happy.
ether. He's like, oh no, I better be here.
Yeah, all you guys that watch regularly, we see you guys and it means a lot.
Yeah, we do see you. Drew check 5254 is another super chat. How long would you say it took you to get comfortable at rendering?
Okay, so $3 years. I'm going to say 3 years. I started, I did Cyberforce, and that was a monthly book, and that taught me a lot. And you really, you grow more doing a monthly book than I think just about anything, because you just have to, somebody asked earlier too, like, how do you know when you're ready? When you actually get a comic script, you'll be confronted with things that you would not have ever expected to have to draw, and you need to be able to do it. You can't just walk away from that, and it needs to work for the story. And so when you get to the point where you can confidently draw anything and you know that you're not going to get caught out that way, because everybody does, you will get caught out. I mean, I don't care how ready you are, you get caught out somewhat. Everybody does. But that really, I think, is when you're ready to. I feel like that's what I initially wanted to say, and I drifted away. Now I'm drifting away from the next answer. What was the question again? Oh yeah, rendering. When did I get comfortable? I started looking at a lot of Travis Trust. That was working for me. I couldn't render like Travis, but I found this with a lot of artists that I've looked at. Like I looked at a lot of Dale Keown, and you can see, like, if you ever look at Ascension stuff that I did back in '97, there's a lot of Dale Keown in the initial drawing, like the first cover. And then as the first issue in the interiors, it's much more Travis. And those two things kind of mix together for me into the style that I still use now. I will say, like, I don't really look at anything for rendering, and I haven't for a long time. It's been more just over the years, as I do it more and more, you kind of develop your own little style, I guess, ticks and techniques. But really, it took me a few years to really find artists that rendered in a way that I could understand, because there were so many that I just couldn't. I could not make Jim Lee style of rendering. Mark Silvestri, my teacher, who I learned so much from, I could not make a lot of the way that the image guys were rendering. I couldn't make it work. I think had I found Kevin Nolan early, because I used some of his, that would have worked for me. It took me a long time. That was going to be my book of the week, by the way. I have an old Kevin Nolan a DC comic of, I think, Batman and the Outsiders that I wanted to show you guys. So it's going to have to wait. Anyway, yeah. And then when I started inking, it was like a whole process again, because it is a different kind of a feel and a different thing. And it took me, I'm going to say, probably about 30 pages of Skin Breaker to really start to feel like, okay, I have like a technique down that I feel comfortable with for rendering with ink. And Meredith always said before, like, because I inked myself a few times before, she said my pencils always look stronger than the inks. And I feel like now I've gotten to a point where if I'm inking myself, I can make it stronger than the pencils. But that took a long time. And I say I feel like that, and I do. But I don't. You'd agree, right? Tell me you agree, even if you don't.
I agree.
Thank you. Just lie to me. I don't care.
All right, I have another super chat. Adam Meyer, going through my comics and realized I have a Soul Saga #2 variant done by you. Very cool.
Thank you. Yeah. That's Stephen Platt, and I actually did that with. So I did the drawing, and I did that with Aaron Leitner from Liquid. He was half of the Christian Leitner, Aaron Lucen. Sorry, Christian. He was half of the Liquid coloring team. So I went to his house. We did that together. We were trying to color it like Drew Struzan. So that was the technique we were trying to use. We fought with it like crazy. So many of these things come down to just the right type of surface to accept the materials in the way that they need to work. And it was a struggle, but it was fun. So yeah, that was a group effort, actually. What am I missing? Background. Basically, we're down to background, Meredith. You'll be happy to know.
And there you go. Drew Chick 5254 has another super chat. I'm glad to hear you say it took you about 3 years, because I was feeling like I've hit a wall with it and was getting a bit frustrating. I'll keep at it.
Yeah, for sure. And when you do keep at it, really, you want to go in with a plan. And the ideal way to have a plan is to have somebody you're stealing it from. I find with rendering for me, once I had, and that's why I say 3 years. It took me 3 years to really have like a philosophy rendering that worked for me. And that was from looking at artists and eventually being able to kind of adapt it to what I'm doing. To really, really have something that just flowed and I didn't have to think about, that took a little longer. But to feel like, okay, I know who I am rendering. I know the kind of work that I want to be doing, and I can make it work if I spend the time and fight with it. 3 years. But yeah, I think it's much harder to get there if you just kind of go with whatever springs to mind without really, having a plan. Like I know the early image stuff, and it's funny. So the early image stuff always did horizontal rendering along forms like this. So go crossway this way along the form. I could not make that work. So I started going this way up from the form, which is more classic actually. And that worked for me. Ironically, now I do both. So, but I still can't make that kind of like image style, just that pure rendering. I can't make it work. And I've never gone back to it. It just never worked for me. And that's the stuff that got me into comics too, you know, is it like Image, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Mark Silvestri, all that stuff is what made me, and Dale Keown actually, by the way, does that beautifully. That's like a central part of a lot of the rendering he was doing, but he did other things too. And so I just took the things that worked, which is why Travis was such a key piece for me, because he didn't do that at all. Very intricate rendering, but it made sense. And I think that's the most important part. It just needs to internally, like you need to be able to look at it and it makes sense. And if it does, then you can make it work. If there's so many artists that don't really make as much sense to me, and I just can't make that kind of work. What
are you thinking, Dave?
What do you mean? What am I thinking? I was just talking a second ago.
I
I
know,
didn't have
but
time to daydream.
Time-wise.
Oh, another 10 minutes.
Really? 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to survive it in this chair.
You'll make it. You'll be fine.
Oh, my body just wants sleep. All right, here we go. Darmax26, who apparently I've focused in on his name tonight. Keown on another level, and so is Finch, or maybe he's just on point. Splenda says, thank you guys so much for your stream. It's been lovely. See, people are passing out. They're popping out. Somebody else popped out.
Well, I didn't do the tutorial.
Dennis
and
Kelly,
people like,
have a great
I'm
rest
out.
of the stream, Dave. Marathon all. I love dogs. Mine is telling me I'm about to have a Caesar. So I go now. He's so awesome. Oh, I'm glad that he has a good dad, like a medical dog. That's awesome.
Yeah.
User Rinsler says, I love this piece. I hope it's available. Unfortunately, it's already spoken for.
It is, yes.
But talk to Jason as Central Sequential, and he might be able to get you on the list for you to get another piece 5 years from now. I don't even know how long your list is, Dave. I don't even know. Too long.
We've had it closed for a long time. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Too long. Too long.
I won't be able to do
Never
it
enough time in the day.
No. Well, and part of the problem is I end up just doing what I want to do a lot of times too. I did a painting that Meredith didn't like.
Today. Yes, you did.
Well, I did it. So I have so much stuff that I need to be doing, and I'm spending my time doing this stuff. And yeah, she didn't like it, but and I know why. And it's not untrue, but I still had a great time with it. And meanwhile, I've got work that needs to get done. Yeah.
Greg Sedeker, hearing someone so advanced say something doesn't work for you makes me feel way more at ease. I think part of this journey is realizing some methods work for you while others may not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I beat my head against the wall for months at Top Cow when I started, just not being able to work in the way that. So this is Top Cow never had any kind of a you need to work in a particular way thing going on at all. But the artists that were picked to work there were picked to have a style. I keep knocking my chair down. My leg keeps hitting the little bar. Style that would be complementary to what they were doing. And I knew that while they were amenable to trying different things and being creative, there's an expectation that I was still going to work in a style that worked for the audience that was following Top Cow, right? So it was a scary thing to try something like I'm forgetting Simon Bisley. That was such a huge. That was actually almost more. Well, it was more with shadow shapes, but that was the biggest piece for me of the puzzle. So it wasn't rendering as much, but shadow shapes. Once I found Bisley, that's when things really started making sense for me, and I started thinking, okay, I can make it work. Like I'm not going to wash out, which a lot of people did, and I thought I was going to. I got to the point where I really thought I was not going to make it.
Extreme maybe might get banned. He says, I could probably go for another hour, Meredith. No extreme maybe. No. No, not another hour. Dave's got dinner on my computer. I just noticed it.
Oh, but the recipe I used?
Yeah. There's like, I looked at my space bar and there's green grunge on it.
Oh, not the recipe I used. The actual dinner.
Yeah, actual dinner. This is how you use my computer to make dinner. And
Yeah.
then you get dinner. You put your dinnery choppy fingers all over my computer.
I don't like using my phone. I don't like having it.
Yeah, well, I don't like you putting crap all over my computer keyboard.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's a lot harder to clean than a phone surface.
Sure.
It gets all the crap and the keys get all sticky. Paul Essen, or no time limit here, not even 10 a.m. yet. Freaking Australians. Is he Australian or New Zealand? One of the two.
Time is probably the same either way. I would think.
No, it's not.
Is it? I don't know.
They're on the other side of the world.
No, I mean the
Upside
time
down.
between Australia and New Zealand is probably the same.
Yeah, but same thing. I'm trying to be,
Australia, the most expensive place to ship something to on Earth. It really is, I think.
got a lot of oceans to cover.
Yeah, for sure.
Recitation. Hi, David. I'm from Brazil. I love your work. I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you very much.
Resuscitation.
I hope you're enjoying summer. We're all jealous. Summer
We're
in
getting
Brazil.
some. I'm not jealous now. We got spring.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
It's all upward from here.
And both
We
of
have got through January, and the rest of February is going to be gravy.
and Australia and Brazil are both gearing up for winter.
Yeah.
Well, gearing up for fall, yes. Airplane flying low overhead.
Yeah, super low, like vibrating.
Never hear that. Like, I don't know. Hopefully
I've a
they're
couple
okay.
times tonight. I've heard like super low. Today I heard super low airplanes.
Huh.
I don't know
Something's
what's
going on.
Our American compatriots are invading our airspace.
There you go. All right. We're almost done. We're almost done. I'm telling you. And I never get to do this on the stream.
We never do.
Yeah.
Charles Petrie trying to get banned. 2 more hours, he says.
I really could spend longer on the rocks than I am. I totally could. But this is about how it goes. And yeah, I don't think I've never done a stream before where I've been able to actually really detail this stuff. Like I kind of rough in rocks here and there, but to actually do this, it's nice.
Tom Rudge wants to know if you would ever come down to any of the Australian conventions. We've done Australia twice.
I've done it 3 times.
You've done it 3 times.
Yeah, and I would do it again, 100%.
No, I won't.
Okay, well, I would.
It's too long.
I know why. I don't blame you. And this is why I didn't say, oh, you got to go. Like, I understand, but I would love to go again.
Take Isaac.
Yeah, I would for sure.
They didn't even ask anymore. They don't even care. Supernova, they don't care about us.
Well,
Nobody asking. Finches are done. They're done with the finches.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Andrew Law says Melbourne's a nice 35 degrees day. That too hot.
That would be. Oh, I would take it.
No, too hot. Can't ride in 35. There is like an optimal temperature for which
You can ride a motorcycle in 35 because you just get up to
you get
speed.
the wind, but not a horse. 95 Fahrenheit. Too hot.
I'm just gonna go dark like this.
We're Canadian up here, Andrew. We do Celsius.
So this is kind of rendering, but then I'm trying to use it to like create some shapes too, like create some shadow nooks. And then like the easy way to do that. So if my light's coming from here, so I can go a little thinner and then thicker this way. And then you see how that looks like a shadow? That's kind of what I'm trying to think about when I do that. So it doesn't end up just looking like a bunch of random lines. It's see like a little thicker there again. And I'm using the same rule over and over again. And it works every time.
Terrell Dre. I finally made it to a live session as we're about to end. Hi, David Meredith. David, do you have a piece you've done and are genuinely, I can't even talk anymore, I'm so tired, genuinely impressed with yourself? Talented people tend to be hard on themselves. Do you have a piece that you're like, oh, I kicked ass on that piece?
Yeah,
Kicked booty.
Yeah.
We're PG here.
Right. Yes, I do. I have things. Okay. There's nothing I've ever drawn where I can't look at it and say, okay, well, maybe this could have been better and that could have been better and whatever. But every once in a while, some artists are great at composition. Okay, sometimes figures work out better too. Like it'll just be a stronger figure. Usually when I really like a picture though, and I'm really proud of it and I like it years later, it's because the composition really worked. And I always try.
One of my favorite pieces is that Namor cover you did.
Yeah, see,
That's
I was just thinking about that. It is, I remember
like
how much you
one.
liked that at the time, and that actually helps.
Yeah.
So I have
it
learned.
Stands out as like one of your best covers I think you have ever done.
Yeah, Meredith is, I find, a very good barometer for judging artwork that I've done because she doesn't look at it and say, okay, this rendering or whatever looks good or that arm. She just looks at the overall picture and what she thinks of the overall picture. And
does it resonate?
That's right. And that is what's most important. And so that one, I remember you liked a lot when I did it. So I would have drawn this in, I'm going to say about 2007.
We were at the old house, maybe 2006. We were still at the old house.
Okay. So anyway, a long time ago though.
We were at the 2 old houses ago.
Yeah. And I put, look at this. I drew all the way down and then not here. Now I'm going to have to kind of recreate it.
Can you move it up? I can't see.
Oh, I'm off the camera anyway. So yeah, I didn't realize I. And this is where I'm going to start getting much looser because it's actually counterproductive for me to get too detailed down here. Alternatively, what I can do, and this is a technique that Arthur Adams uses really effectively, is as he gets to the edges or something he wants to get rid of more, he'll do a lot more tight cross hatching, and that just pushes things visually back just by darkening everything. So he's so good at using rendering, and this is the whole idea of rendering, really. This is what it's supposed to be, is using it to create midtones and lights and darks. And he is such an expert at leaving whole areas really open and light, and then other areas much more shadowy and less defined. And it's, I guess, kind of ironic because it takes a lot more work to put all those little lines in there, but that's how it reads, which is what you want.
Michael Gardner says, awesome work. Just wanted to say I really enjoy and look forward to your streams. Meredith does great. Also, thanks for the advice you give and your art.
Thank you very much. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got coming up.
One Mighty Hour says the shadow under the blade is a nice touch.
Thank you. I'm glad it read. I'm looking up. I feel like it reads like you can see it, right?
Oh,
when I did it, there was so much stuff going on there. I thought it's probably going to get lost and it won't really read. Yeah. So I'm glad it does. That was what I was trying to do. It just doesn't always come across.
I don't know why your pen is particularly loud today.
Because I'm really pressing and really just throwing it. Now that I'm on the outside here. That's why. Like these lines, I'm really just throwing a lot heavier. Because I want something a lot looser.
It's interesting
more.
because I don't normally hear your pen.
Yeah.
But you're like.
Well, if I do it slower and
you're throwing
softer,
them down.
Like there, yeah. I'm really pressing there. That's why.
The problem is your voice is what you say is always like you're.
I don't talk loud.
No, it's not that. I'm watching you here with my very eyes as you draw.
Right.
And then on the screen, there's a delay. There's always a time lag.
You're listening to the screen? Or you're watching?
No, I'm watching you live in person.
Right.
And then you're saying, here, I do this. And I watch you do it. And then I look in the screen and you haven't done it yet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Allison has a super chat. Could Dave take a quick look at a piece? And unfortunately, we're not reviewing stuff tonight,
Yeah.
but there'll be another review stream.
Yes.
American Discord. That's the sound of money, Meredith. Sheldon Martin has a super chat. David, what will you do with the soft tip tombos? Or what do you do with the soft tip tombos?
I don't use them.
Well, there you go.
I throw them out if I get them because
A mistake. You get them at
every once in a while I get
accident.
them a mistake. Yeah, I throw them out, and look, they're great. Like it's not like they're bad to use. You can get a thin line with them. I find I can get a thinner line with these. I think that they get a thinner line. I just especially find I don't have the line control that I have with these. Like I can get very thick, as you can see with this thing, but without losing control in the same way that I do with the thick one. So that's why.
This is actually our longest stream since we've been back.
I know.
You're past 9 o'clock.
I know. I'm doing my best here. I'm almost done. See, now I'm using the Arthur Adams trick. And I had a feeling I would end up having to, just to push this back. Like I don't want this to interfere visually. So, and it's pretty quick for me to do this. Part of the reason it's making so much noise too is I'm on the bottom of the picture so that it keeps lifting. So it's like
There's echo.
there's echo. Okay, what do we got? I'm just
You
gonna
tell
go
me.
Nice and dark here. I'm done. I think I'm done.
Crazy.
I'm done. Okay, I gotta sign it.
Sign it. Sign that, baby. It looks amazing. I agree, Russ Hicks. It looks amazing.
Thank you very much. Almost done. Always find something I missed. You know what else?
Pablo Romero art looks good. Greg Static art, insane. Michael Gardner, so damn good. Sheldon Martin, awesome. Henry
Thank you.
Jermick, Dave, great job. It looks awesome as usual. Paul Lesson art, sick. Oh, I lost my page. Thanks for the stream. Charles Petrie, love it. Barbarian fan. Navy Sharks, I missed the Meredith cough. I know, I've been so good about not coughing. I held it in. And then we were
You
past
have
9
been.
o'clock and I'm like a pumpkin. It coughed.
Yeah.
Pens down, amazing.
Well,
Alrighty.
thank you very much. Thanks for bearing with me while I finish this thing too. I really appreciate it. I should have known this was going to be an undertaking. So we didn't get the tutorial done. We'll do it
But
next time. Next time we'll just focus on
2
that.
weeks. 2
2
weeks from
Yeah.
today.
All right.
Don't give up on us and we won't give up on you. We'll be here.
Shoot. Dang it. Hang on.
I knew it.
Yeah, well, you know, this is part of it. You have to look at it and there. Okay.
He's going to be here all night. All right. Sign it.
I signed it.
Oh, and see, then just sign off so that people can go to bed. And then if you want to tweak a little bit, you can do it.
No, from here, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for
Thanks for
hanging out with us.
coming.
Really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great week. And we will see you in 2 weeks. And for those of you that will be at OAX, and I know that's a few people, I'll
Have
see you
fun.
there. All right. Good night, everybody.